So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about household roles because that juggle and struggle is real. When school picks up, when you start just trying to rush out the door in the morning, when you get back from work and you just got backpacks and dinner and demands and homework, and then maybe showers and baths, and then it's like bedtime. You didn't even get time in your day to breathe. Ask how people's day were. That is such a condensed, chaotic time. And when I work in programs, we talk a lot about that because how do we get back to functionality when the world is moving faster than ever? When demands from this world are demanding our attention faster than ever, and texts have to be immediate, and emails have to be now. How do you juggle that all? So we had to create some kind of functionality in our household that's different than before. And I'm going to talk about that today because I think sometimes we see things on social media and they have to be Pinterest perfect and they look like beautiful home and garden setups and nice mud rooms and bins. And it doesn't have to be that way. It has to be functional. So I want you to focus on functionality because what I'm going to tell you next is it's not perfect, but it works for us, and hopefully, maybe pieces of that can work for you in your busy household. So the first thing that we did is who owns what, because when you're exhausted at the end of the day, and then you have to figure out who's going to do this and who's going to do the dishes and who's going to make dinner and who's going to make lunches, it just became so exhausting when you already have decision fatigue. And if you don't know what decision fatigue is, it's someone just make a decision, someone just do this. And you made so many decisions before you even left for work in the morning. And then you made decisions all day at work. And now you have to make more decisions. And depending on your kids' ages, that can be a heavy load. And I know that it comes in different forms. In little kids, it's because they're not independent enough. In big kids, it's just out of defiance and figuring out what do they actually need and want. So that mental load is heavy. So we had to establish owners. Who's gonna do lunches? Who owns lunches? Who owns dinner either tonight or all week long? Who owns the dishes? My kids are able to do certain things after dinner, like put their plates in the sink now without, breaking everything. They can maybe even load the dishwasher depending on the meal we had. Depending on, again, the thing we cooked, they can even do some dishes. But what's going to be the flow of the night so you don't have to dictate and boss people over and over and over again? When you're the boss and the leader at work, at least you get paid for it with all that exhaustion and decision fatigue. But when you're the boss at home, you don't get paid for it. It's exhausting. So, who owns what? The other thing I want you to do is establish a sleep routine. So, if you are going to put your kids to bed at 8 o'clock, what is the routine right before that? Because kids are actually routine creatures. They actually succeed in structure, loose enough where they can think on their own and decide, but tight enough where they know one, two, three, A, B, C. And so, what is that sleep routine? Make it simple, don't make it long. Ours is brush teeth, grab a book, bed. That's it. One, two, three. And they know what to do. Sometimes it's a little bit of a fight, but in general, they know it's one, two, three, A, B, C. And then in the morning, I actually have the older kids who can kind of spell, write out what is the morning routine. And again, it's the same morning routine, but it's to get them to start critically thinking and making decisions. Okay, I have to go to school tomorrow morning. What do I need to do before school? One, two, three, ABC. And it's funny because we started writing this on a big whiteboard, and this is where I'm going to get from that Pinterest perfect to just functionality. I have a big whiteboard for training, and it's kind of marked up. It's got some dents in it, and we just set it up in the living room on the side. It is not feng shui. It doesn't go with my decor. It is functional. And they love it. They randomly write on it. They write things that they want to do, for the weekend on it, and it's just become into play in our life, which has been interesting that the whiteboard has not been in this room before, and now it's just part of our function. So the big kids or the little kid will work with me on writing out what is the morning routine. Okay, we have to get up, we have to get dressed, we have to eat breakfast, we have to brush teeth, we have to make our beds, we have to get our lunch boxes in our backpack. And why I say that is because one day they forgot to write that down. And I went to go grab the backpacks and they were pretty light. And I was like, oh my goodness, we don't have our lunches in the backpack. And without writing it down, they just kind of like blew it off. So now we ask the question, what are we missing? And again, it gets them to critically think. So when you think of, your best workers, when you think of your best employees, when you think of your best, friends and people in your life that have just been there, they have these critical thinking skills to say, what is next? What are we missing? Follow up. And so it all starts here in this developmental stage. And I don't mean to get like too far ahead in kids' development, but it's really cool to see them own the morning. I own nothing in the morning besides getting breakfast made, and they own everything else. One, two, three, ABC. So that has been huge, is getting them into critical thinking so that I don't have to bark all morning, and by the time I get to work, I just don't want to lead anymore. I don't want to lead a team when I've led a bunch of munchkins out the door and it was exhausting. So, shifting those household roles to owners of things, prepping for the week, having some of that responsibility shift over to the kids in which they're responsible in their age ranges. Critically thinking, what do I have to do at night? What do I have to do in the morning has relieved me to have time in the morning to enjoy my coffee, to giggle and have fun with the kids in the morning instead of go, 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 making all the decisions. At night, they know that mom can't have fun until all these things are done. So everyone's all in, trying to help where they can to get these things done so mom can also have fun or rest. So I hope that these household role shifts that I'm talking about help you and in your household and bring some functionality, not perfection, but functionality and progress in your days so that you can enjoy each other, you can be present, and it doesn't have to be this chaotic hustle from the moment you wake up to the moment you get to bed. And as we continue this vlog series, I hope that you know that your energy is power, and staying intentional and following that energy and coming back here to fuel your journey is going to help you aid in making those long days just a little bit more exciting, a little bit more full of curiosity and exploration, so that you shift from this zombie mode back to liveliness. Not only enjoying this journey and adventure that you're on, but enjoying those around you.